and welcome to The Bottom Line, where we break down the most current business and economic stories of the day. Poland's energy transformation is multifaceted, but the modernization of the electric transmission system is crucial to bringing the country up to green energy speed. I'm now joined by Grzegorz Onichimowski, president of PSE, the Polish energy grid operator, to tell us more. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does Poland's green energy transformation stand here in August 2024?
I would say around 3, which means, first of all, we have a lot of goodwill. We have a lot of investors coming. We have a lot of applications to connect with the grid. We have quite substantial possibility to connect them. What we don't have is, first of all, modernization of the low voltage grid and distribution grid at all. Transmission grid is in a rather better shape. And what may be surprising, building the demand, or at least something what we call flexibility, which is today like a special thing everybody is looking for, because we have a generation which changes along with the weather, whether it's windy or it's sunny. Then we have a surplus of the energy and we have to switch it off. While in the other moments, we don't have any of them. So especially in the winter, especially beginning of the winter in Poland, there is not much wind, no sun at all. So renewables don't work. We need so-called long-term flexibility. We have to build it up. And at the moment when we have wind blowing or we have sun shining, we don't have enough demand for it. So probably energy storage is the answer. But it's not only short-term storage like batteries, but as well longer term. And probably heat is here a very good answer to this dilemma, what to do.
Speaking of renewables, the electric transmission grid is absolutely key to this energy transformation here in Poland. What is the plan for the next few years here in Poland, keeping in mind that it's not ready for renewables yet? As I am saying, it's not so bad with the transmission grid. So it's not only a problem of having the possibility to connect more or less renewable, it as well is a problem of complete change of the topology of the grid and the energy system as a whole. Because we used to have power plants next to the coal mines in the south. In the future, our critical infrastructure for generation is going to be offshore wind, so in the north. And as well, Choczewo, so the first nuclear power plant, is planned to be built by the sea, so same thing. And even onshore wind, most of it is, so the best conditions for onshore wind are as well in the north. So we have to reconstruct and change the whole transmission system. Usually for most of the countries, they just have a problem with the distribution grid. Because the distribution grid is not used to the situation where we have a generation and consumption on the same low voltage grid. And a lot of renewable energy deep in the grid. While in Poland we have both things at the same time, so we need to change both transmission lines and distribution lines. I wanted to ask you to tell us about this high voltage direct current project, which is a key factor, which will obviously allow for the generation of energy sources in the north, support the industries in the south, very much like in Germany.
Yes, there is a plan within our whole plan, the specific line, which is HVDC line, so for the direct current line. This is because the losses of such a line are much smaller than on a traditional line. And that's why if we have a specific, let's say, area where there is a lot of demand, a specific
area where there is a lot of production, it's worth to connect them via such a line. And as I said before, we now have this situation with a lot of generation hopefully being built in the north, and then with still major industries located in the south.
And obviously money is key to all this. We know that state-owned enterprises are planning to put 30 billion euro to this, but the consultancy A.T. Kearney says that the number should actually be 4 times higher. What do you think?
I think A.T. Kearney is saying about total investment in all grids. And maybe this figure is right, because what we call in our plan is just a figure connected with the transmission line. So this is just top of the iceberg, okay? Because much more we need to invest in the low voltage grid and mid voltage grid than in the high voltage grid, which is relatively in a good shape. But as I say, we need to change, let's say, the geography, yes, of this grid.
So where does this money come from? Because these are huge figures that we're talking about.
Of course, from consumers. There is no other way. But let's face it, this is one-off investment. This is not something we need to change again and again and again in the next 10 years, next 10 years, next 10 years. So to facilitate this change, we can for the first time probably go for a debt of the transmission system operator. We are a very healthy company. We have a lot of cash. But just to make our customers more comfortable and pay for this change across much longer time. And I think we have a plan how to do it, and it's quite feasible, and we are not afraid on our plan.
So this plan involves higher bills for us consumers?
I wouldn't say much higher bills. I think more or less the same. At least I'm saying about the grid component. Mm-hmm. Because in the future, that's my prediction, private prediction, we'll have much higher price of the service and less price of the merchandise. So the electricity as such will cost less and less, because renewables in fact produce almost for free. Okay, if you invest the money in capex, then you don't need any more fuel or any operational costs.
So we'll feel
the
pinch.
Service will cost more and more. Maybe we'll face similar situation like with mobile phones, where at the beginning we had like a price for a pulse, yes, and now we have just a price for a service. And in fact, to some extent, they say to us, services for a lot of merchandise is for free. You just pay for being connected, yes, and that might be a future.
Okay, so we'll feel the pinch for a little while, and then things will get a little bit cheaper. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that's the same dilemma for all Europe, I think, and for all of the world.
So moving on to the bigger picture, the impact on the country's economy, the industries, and obviously competitiveness, which is obviously a key word and motto for Europe. Will this improve in the years to come? When can we expect to see the effect of this?
Okay, it depends on us. If we are brave enough to go really fast in the transformation, then we can expect some results in a few years. Because we have a lot to catch up.
So who is brave? Is Poland brave?
It's a good question. I am saying not only Poland generally, but companies, government, regulatory, everybody. We have to deal really fast because we are quite behind. And as you are saying, the magic word is competitiveness. It's not so much important what is the, let's say, price of the energy. The most important is how this price compares to our competitors. And currently Poland, unfortunately, is like probably position 2, position 3 in Europe, but from the back. Yes, in terms of the price of energy, especially for industrial consumers. Households are being protected by tariffs, things like that, but it will not as well last forever. We need to one day or another face the market. Yes.
My last question to you is about energy storage, which you raised at the beginning. Obviously, Poland needs more of it. When can we expect to see it? How much of it? And what kind of technology do we need?
All technologies. So in our development plan for this 10 years, we are saying at least 15 gigawatts of the battery storage, which is short-term storage for a couple of hours. This is good to have a flexibility of generation. Then we need to have a lot of storage in the heat, which will allow us to transform heating into green heating, which is very important because ETS2 is coming. If we don't do it in a really short time, we can have much higher bills, not on electricity, but on heating. Poland, thanks to, let's say, our fathers and grandfathers, built a huge district heating, which now can work as a benefit for us. But we need to use it. Connected district heating with renewables is part of the answer what to do with a storage, because that's the best storage we can get.
Okay, thank you very much for that very candid conversation.
Thank you.
That was Grzegorz Onichimowski, president of the PSC, the Polish energy grid operator. For more business stories, check us out on X and on tvpworld.com. Thanks so much for joining us on Business Arena. I was your host, Marie Cato. Join us again tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET on TVP World. But don't go away. Coming up next, World Talks. Goodbye.